I'm Brooklyn.
And I'm Anthony.
And you're listening to Graham's Porch Podcast. Our podcast will cover various topics, ranging from celebrity news, movies, music, family, and anything in between. No topic is off limits.
So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and join us on the porch.
What is up, everyone? This is Brooklyn from the future popping in with two little PSAs. Just wanted to say that in this episode, we're working with some new mics, so please bear with us while we get everything sorted. And second, this is a 2-part series. You are about to listen to part 1, and part 2 will be released next week. Back to our regular scheduled programming.
Hello, everybody. Do you want to play a game?
Welcome back to episode 8 of Graham's Porch Podcast. This is your host, Anthony.
And your other host, Brooklyn.
So, how was your week?
It was alright, I guess. Nothing too eventful happened. I don't think.
Nothing besides our little Sonic trip we had earlier.
Oh, God. That was horrible.
Yeah.
We'll just say, if you're a manager, be fucking respectful to your employees. Don't treat them like shit.
Yeah, bro. At first it was funny, and then we thought about it, and we're like,
That's very fucked up.
Yeah.
I would quit.
So we pulled up, because we're just going to get, a little snacky snack. And so we pull up to the drive-thru, and the guy on the headset didn't realize that his headset was turned on. And he's fully sitting there just talking shit about an employee or something. But, you clearly heard him say, I'm
not working with another fucking gay person.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was like...
At first we thought he was talking to us.
I thought he was talking about me. I was like, whoa, hold up, buddy. I don't swing that way.
But then he said it another 2 or 3 times, and we're like, okay,
Yeah, and I was like, oh, he don't realize that his headset's on.
Yeah.
And, he was talking for a minute, and then he was like, yeah, I'm just talking shit, or something like that. And then, all of a sudden, he must have, realized, and he's like, welcome to Sonic. And then he's like, 1 moment. And then, it cut off. And then it turned back on, and he's like, what can I do for you? I was like, oh, God.
I just heard you running your mouth being homophobic.
Yeah.
But everything's good. And the bad thing is we found out he's a manager of that place.
Yeah, he's the night shift manager.
Wasn't wearing no gloves, handling food, he sneezed. Bro.
I got high and I still ate the food though, sorry.
Yeah, we were really hungry, so. But still, you're the manager of that place. You should be the example of how to freaking act.
Or how to run your business. You don't want your other employees talking about other people
if it was another employee, they'd fire him or write him up for
discrimination or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, because that's what he said. He don't want to work with gay people.
Yeah. You're supposed to lead by example, dude.
And you guys said the gay kid is, the best worker there. He outworks the manager, so clearly.
I think he's jealous of him, low-key.
Yeah. Because, I'm not even a manager, and I outshine you at work.
Yeah. Me?
Exactly.
Just kidding.
But he's not. He's not kidding.
Little bit.
How's your week been?
Very slow at work. And then today we just got hit out of nowhere. Just straight
Everyone
in there, didn't even
there?
spit on it or nothing, just butt fucked us this morning. I was like, dude, it is 7 a.m. Why are you doing this to me right now?
You should be in bed still.
Yeah. But we've been slow all week, and then we just got slammed this morning.
I used to hate that.
It's alright, though. It helped the morning go by quick, but then the rest of the day just drug on.
I'd just be sitting in the back watching a movie or something.
Dude, I've gotten to the point now where, I'll be driving around on the forklift, scrolling on TikTok at the same time.
They're all watching you on the cameras.
And I'm still outshining people there.
I still do my job better than you.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's been a decent week.
It's good.
Yep.
So, let's just jump into a hot topic of the week. I couldn't really think of anything aside from Kim Kardashian coming to Tristan Thompson's defense on the newest episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, saying that he's a great dad, he's a great friend, but I guess he just kind of sucks as a boyfriend. And then it came out today, because I don't know, on TikTok there's like some people that do like blind items where like people that are supposedly close to this celebrity like anonymously writes into this website to let people know like, oh, this celebrity's so nice in front of cameras, but they're really an asshole behind cameras and stuff. But there was a blind item, or a couple of them, saying that Kim Kardashian like sticks up for him because she's secretly like messing around with him.
Damn, and that was her sister's ex?
Yeah, they have 2 kids together with Chloe.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, she's claiming that, oh, he's a great dad. Yeah, to your nephew and your niece, but he has 2 sons that he doesn't see.
Yeah.
Doesn't take care of. One he's never even met before.
See, that don't even make you a great dad if you're only there for certain kids. Like, if you got multiple baby mamas and you're only there for certain kids and not the other ones.
He's only there because Chloe's, like, way richer than him.
Yeah.
So that's his cash cow, so I gotta be present in their life if I want some of that money. But I just think that's grimy. Like, you're over here fucking around, supposedly, according to that blind item. Like, you're fucking around with your sister's baby daddy and ex that cheated on her while she was pregnant with your niece.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's fucked up. That reminds me of this story I listened to this, I think today or yesterday, on this podcast, and like they talked to this girl that called in, or not girl, this dude that called in anonymously or whatever, and he was telling them that he broke up with his wife of like 7 years or something like that, and ended up getting with her sister.
Oh my god.
But like, I don't know, I guess in the end of it all, he said that it all worked out for all of them.
That's
like,
still great.
So it was like him and his ex-wife were married to each other, and then his sister, her sister, and his best friend
were married. Oh, so you're like a double backstabbing bitch.
Yeah. In a way, he said that
the ex-wife and the best friend got together now.
No. So when he was with his wife, so back in the day, in high school or something, like they used to play on the same team or something, or his dad used to coach the other dude. And then, so they knew each other like that, and then like later in life, the dude and his wife were working together, and I guess that dude popped up at his job, like all these years later, and then he ended up getting with the sister-in-law, and then the sister-in-law married the dude.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Am I getting too deep into it?
I don't think so.
But anyway, the sister-in-law and the dude that called in were like messing with each other for like a year, and then finally it came out. The way he got caught up was he had told his wife that he was going to the store or something like that, or
classic line.
And I guess he ended up going to the movies with
the best friend,
with the sister.
Oh,
with his wife's sister.
Yeah.
To see like the new Thor movie that just came out. Well, not just came out, like the
At
most
that
recent
time.
Thor movie.
Mm-hmm.
And his wife went through his car the next day or something like that and found his wallet, and it had
The
the
movie
movie
ticket?
tickets in it.
What an idiot.
And then somehow she connected the dots and found out it was a sister. So then, like, right then and there, they came clean. And, like, the dude moved out into the sister's house.
That's like...
And, like, they got a divorce. Him and his ex-wife got a divorce. And then, like, this is over months, but him and the sister ended up getting, not married, but they bought a house together. And then the ex-wife has a new boyfriend that's, like, rich or whatever. So she's, like, living a happy life.
She upgraded?
Yeah.
No. I could never, like, look at someone that you're dating and be like, oh, if things don't work out with him.
Yeah, like, I'm next up. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Because that would always make me think, like, you were always looking at my girl. Like,
and he was like, oh, you know, it was just, like, it was never like that in the beginning. Like,
that's what they all say.
he was like, you know, we were just, like, really good friends. And then when stuff with me and my wife were going down, like, she was the one that was, like,
There for me.
yeah, like, there for me. And we were going through the same thing at the same time. Like, stuff with her and her husband were going downhill at the same time. So,
No.
like, they didn't even have any intentions of getting with each other, but I guess through their whole stuff going on with their lives, like, that's where they found each other, I guess.
Mm-mm.
That's the way he described it.
Yeah, I could never. But I think the Kardashians have a freaking history of, like, fucking
Getting
each
with
other's
each other's dudes?
boyfriends,
Yeah,
and then
that's
they get
fucking
together.
That's some weirdo shit.
It is. It's like, why would you want to be with the same dick that's been in your sister? That's
And
weird.
I would never... I don't know, I would never do that to somebody that I like.
Yeah.
Something, like, somebody close to me like that. Even, like, somebody in my family, I'm not gonna date your ex, bro. Like, the hell?
It's like, it's grimy. There's
Yeah.
no other way to put it. But, yeah, when she posted that, like, this long freaking Instagram post about him being a good dad, and, I think his mom just recently died, so he has a brother that has, like, a lot of, medical disabilities and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So he had to take, like, over custody for him. And, of course, with Chloe having, like, the biggest heart in that whole family, like, she's helping him, like, take care of the brother and all that while he plays basketball and stuff. But one of the sisters of, like, the girl that has a kid with him that he's never met, she's, like, you know, called Kim Kardashian out, like, how dare you sit there and say that he's a good friend and a good dad because he takes your kids to school and does that, like, for Chloe's family, but he's never once came to, like, meet my nephew or to spend time with him or even acknowledge him and stuff. But you say, oh, he's the best dad ever and he's the greatest friend and uncle ever. Like, no, he's not, because he's only treating 2 of his kids good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, the Kardashians, they just put a bad taste in my mouth. Like,
What the fuck are they even famous for? I still don't get that.
all because of Kim's sex tape. That's literally all it is.
For real.
I mean, they had, you
And
know.
it wasn't even that good. I'm gonna come out and say it, dude. I don't give a fuck what any other dude out there says that's seen the damn tape. It's not all that.
I won't lie, I seen the tape too. I agree.
I'm like, most of it's fucking Ray J's face all up in the camera. Like, I don't want to see her face, bro. It's supposed to be a sex tape. I don't want to see her face.
I want to see your fucking skin routine.
Yeah. Then he didn't even get good angles or nothing. Like,
Yeah. It's like, come on, bro. If you wanted that leaked, you had to.
boring. Snoozer. It was cool the first time. Then after that,
Well, just because, you know, you saw her on TV and then you're like, whoa.
yeah.
I know what her boobies for real look like.
I wonder if they're real.
Definitely not. But we're not here to talk about a woman's body, but I agree with his baby mama's sister. Like, don't sit there and claim that he's a good dad when he's never around for your nephew, and she's like in the other, like the older son. Like, you're only around when it's time for his birthday and you put in your little photo op with him.
Yeah.
But Tristan's always rubbed me the wrong way. The Kardashians rubbed me the wrong way.
And Ray J, you rubbed me the wrong way.
And then in a local hot topic of
In the local news.
we just seen that in a small town here in Colorado, like the FBI and every freaking law agency,
Every BI out there.
yeah, are like flocked to this little mountain town or something like that.
I've never even heard of this fucking place.
I haven't either.
And I've lived here my whole life. 27 years.
You're 24. I don't know where you got the 7 from.
You carried the 3.
But they're under investigation for having accumulated 151 bodies.
Dude, the number just keeps going up.
At this mortuary. I guess it's supposed to be like a eco-friendly, so I don't know if they like fucking plant trees with their bodies or
What the hell?
they like cremate them and make them into like eco-friendly things. I don't know. But yeah, they're under investigation for just like letting these bodies just accumulate and they have nowhere to put them.
Yeah, they're like under fire for improper storage of the bodies.
Yeah. But it's like, geez, how long were you keeping these people where you were like, oh, we have 151 right now?
Yeah, they're like, this is one of the largest, what is it?
It's like a malpractice or something.
They said this is the largest crime scene we've seen in a while or something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, when I first seen it on TikTok, it was like there was no context to the video that I seen.
Yeah, they're like, we still don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, they're just like...
It reminded me
legit,
like the start of like a freaking zombie movie.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I thought it was. Because, yeah, they were just like, the news people were like, yeah, now investigating blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. You know, like they say the funeral home's name and the city and whatever. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we have Travis live over here on scene. And he's like, yeah, we're here today. And as you can see, there's a lot of police activity behind me. We're not sure what's going on, but right now things are not looking good. And like just going on and on. And I'm like, well, what the hell's going on?
No.
There's tons of bodies here. And like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, they didn't even say that there was bodies. They were just like...
And then I'm looking at the comments and they're like, please tag me in part 2.
Like, oh my God, I live here. What's going on?
I don't ever comment on stuff. I just like...
I look at it.
If I see it again, I see it again. But
that scared me though when I first saw it on TikTok.
Yeah, I was a little
like
freaked out.
No context and like...
I was like, finally! It's my time to shine.
Whatever.
I just hope they're Walking Dead zombies. And not like Day of the Dead.
Where you have to run?
Run it after you. Fuck that. Give me past some slow walkers. I'm good.
No. I can't even freaking make it up the stairs if I feel like someone's too close to me.
Guys, when I was younger and we were living at my mom's house, my mom had 2 floors. And our bedrooms were upstairs. And sometimes when I was feeling like being a jerk, Brooke would be going upstairs to her room. I'd run down the hall behind her. I'm like, arr, arr. Just like chasing her like a zombie. Just start running up the stairs.
That's why I'm freaking petrified of going up the stairs when you're at mom's.
And if I caught her leg or something, I'd be like, yeah, you died.
Yeah. Well, I'll be trying to kick you in the face first to stop you.
I just thought it was funny because you'd be running up the stairs all, just screaming up the stairs trying to get to your room, and I'm all behind you running, chasing after you all. Fucking.
Oh my God, I don't know why we didn't talk about this for a hot topic of the week.
What?
Because, we're talking about it looked like the start of a zombie apocalypse, and then people were thinking that a zombie apocalypse was gonna happen when
I'm saying
that FEMA message got sent to everyone, and like the conspiracy, like we love conspiracy theories over here, but
yeah, this one was just a little.
People were saying like
far-fetched.
if you were, we're not gonna get like political. This is what they're saying though. If you were vaccinated, that the freaking 5G, I don't know where the fuck they're pulling this stuff out, but the 5G that they put in the vaccine is going to go off with like the sound waves or the wavelengths of the
frequencies of
the frequencies are going to set off the 5G freaking virus that they injected you with, and that you were going to turn into a zombie.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wrap your phones and tablets in tinfoil and put them in your microwave.
All your electronics and shove them in the microwave.
I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, hello, we always get freaking the same fucking message sent here if there's an Amber Alert or tornado warning.
Yeah,
flash
flood.
It's
the same thing, dude.
But they just made it into a huge thing.
Like, we are in the end times, the world is ending, and blah, blah, blah. Like, just going off everything to scare you, bro. And I'm like, really? You guys believe all this?
Yeah. One being our own father.
Yeah.
It wasn't like as bad as like put your stuff in the microwave, but like
he did say though, he's like, yeah, I've seen this video and they say that
I think I should just keep my phone off for the day. Like,
yeah,
sir.
Like, it's not that deep.
He was a zombie believer and stuff, and it was funny because we upgraded our new phones, so we had to send our old ones back. So Dad was off work, and he's like, let's just go take the phones to the post office so that we can mail these phones back, because I'm not going to be charged for them.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm waiting for him to, like, change his clothes or whatever, and he comes out of his room. And I thought I had the time wrong. I thought it was like 11:20 our time, but it was like 1 our time or noon. I don't know. I was like an hour off.
It was like 12:18 is when mine went off.
Yeah, so I was an hour off. So he comes out of his room, and I'm sitting there on the couch, and I'm all, and his freaking eyes, like, they got so wide. He got all scared.
You're lucky you didn't get that dude a heart attack.
I know, and at first I was like, oh, God. Because the way his eyes got all big, and I was like, really? Really, guy? And then when we were we were getting ready to leave the post office, that's when it first, like, actually, like, went off.
Uh-huh.
And Dad's in the car and stuff, and then I, like, stopped moving. Or we were talking, and the sound went off. So I stopped talking. And then I looked at him, and I was, like, slow head moved, and I was like, he's like, stop!
Like, so fucked up.
I'm like, dude, do you really think that you're gonna freaking...
Yeah, we gotta tell him, dude, because he gets too caught up in these rabbit holes. Like,
and he was never like that until, like, recently.
Until he got on TikTok.
Yeah, for real.
And then he starts seeing all this shit, and he's like, buddy, we really need to be careful out here. You see what's going on? And I'm like, Dad, you can't believe every single thing you see on the internet.
Yeah, like, because he always freaking raised us, like, don't be believing none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Or
he'd always be telling us, that's the devil just trying to scare you.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, do I have to hit a fucking reverse Uno on you right now? Because I did tell him the other day, because he was texting me. He's like, you know, buddy, I'm worried that, you know, things are changing, and you hear what the government's doing to us, and da da da. I'm like, Dad, that's just the devil trying to get in your head, like, trying to scare you through all these other people. Yet we don't know when our last days are.
No one knows.
Nobody knows. Only the Lord knows.
Okay. But yeah.
But for real though.
But he was all scared, and I was like, dude, get real. Like, that thing lasted for like 2 seconds, and then it came off. I'm like, oh, they're making it seem like...
My phone said, burp. And then I hit the volume button and it stopped.
Same.
I'm like, okay, really?
And these people made it seem like it was like...
This thing is going to happen for 3 hours. And I'm like, dude, calm down.
But it's crazy to see, like, that's how fast, like, mass hysteria spreads. Like,
exactly. But where are they at now? I haven't seen one person on there saying,
yeah,
oh, hey, you
like,
know what? I fucked up. My bad.
They all deleted their accounts.
Yeah. I just keep seeing videos like, really? This is what y'all were afraid of?
My alarm's louder than that.
Yeah. Today I went to the gas station to get my usual, you know, croissant and nos. I think I got something else. And my total was $9.11. So the guy at the register, he's all right, $9.11 for you. But I'm like, all right. So I'm pulling out my my phone to do the tap on it on the card reader, and he goes, you could hear him under his breath go, "It was an inside job."
No way.
And I just started laughing. I go, "Sure was." But it was just so funny. We're both just standing there laughing.
Then he's like, "You got me."
Yeah. Like, all right, man, you have a good weekend. That guy's always cool. I've known him forever, and I don't even know his name.
Oh, the one that...
The guy that works at the gas station.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I thought you stopped somewhere, like, in the morning.
Oh, no.
Like your normal break.
No, at the gas station.
I know. Where we always used to go, right across the street.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, you would think you'd be like, "Hey, bro, my name's Anthony."
I know.
Yours?
I never said anything before. Like, I should ask him one day. I don't know. I think his name's Daniel.
Just ask him. Just be like, "Hey, bro, let me introduce myself. I'm Anthony.
Can I get your number?" Oh.
No.
I don't know. I'm not good with people like that.
I'm not either. I don't know how to approach people.
That's why I haven't asked his name. I've known him for like 4 years.
See, well, not every day. I mean, 5 days a week, but...
I don't know
You know how much money we spent in that place?
Oh my god, I spent about $30 a week there.
It's ridiculous. Inflation.
Maybe more. Just on fucking snacks, bro. On a Red Bull and a croissant every morning. And an occasional Mountain Dew from my coworker.
Yeah.
Like some days it's like the least I've spent there.
When we would switch off?
Yeah.
I got you today, you get us tomorrow.
Yeah.
You used to love making my total big.
Oh yeah.
With your Vienna sausages and Funyuns.
We're not gonna talk about that. That's
What kind of prison meal is this?
You never been to prison? I have.
Been to jail. Prison and jail are not the same. That's what Cat Williams said.
Yeah, I was gonna say we both have not been.
No, I've never been.
I haven't even been pulled over before. knock on wood. Ow.
I've only been pulled over once. That was because the tint on my car was too dark. And they couldn't see my...
Dude, I hated being in that car.
It was so black inside.
See shit. You had to roll the windows
Yeah.
at night. And that's the only time we ever went anywhere was at night.
Even in the dead of winter, the windows had to be rolled down.
Yeah, bro. Hey, you want to go to Sonic? Yeah.
Fucking put your beanie on. It's going to be a cold one.
Had to bundle up to go out just because your windows are too damn dark.
I know. I didn't know that was an illegal, like, tint.
That was how my Chrysler was, though.
Yeah, well, because
I never got
our
pulled
brother
over
was
with it,
trying
though.
to be illegal. I wasn't.
It's alright.
Good times.
Those were the good days.
Bro, we used to do that all the time. Either Sonic or go to 7-Eleven or the occasional Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen was more of an occasion.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
some
it
ice
closed
cream.
early. Well, yeah, what else are you supposed to get from there?
I don't know, maybe a hot dog?
I've never had.
I don't think I've ever had their food either.
Oh, I used to all the time in high school.
Oh.
But it was just a chicken strip basket. But I've never.
Oh,
had
you know what? I
anything else.
have had that. I can go. I can go for a chicken strip basket anywhere right now.
From Wendy's. We've been talking barely on the freaking hot topic of the day for the half hour.
That's been a while though, right?
Yeah. But yeah, we just went on a freaking tangent with that one. We popped edibles before this, so.
Yeah. Well, you did.
I did.
didn't take one.
But you smoked right before this.
Yeah. I don't know what it was about that weed today, but damn, it hit.
Yeah, that edible hit me. Usually I have to take the whole
We had the
pack down.
giggles so bad earlier when we were eating dinner.
I know. We should have turned the mics on then.
I know.
Today, we're doing the long-awaited one that we've been super excited for. We're going to be talking about our unexplainable, our, like, ghost encounters. I don't know, however you want to call it. Just our experiences.
With the paranormal.
With the paranormal. Because it's spooky season, if you didn't know.
Our paranormal activity.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Our activities.
Yeah.
But, everything on this episode is 100% true. No bullshit. On our grandmother's graves, like, these are things that we've experienced or people that have been, you know, the closest to us have experienced before.
Yeah.
So, just a viewer discretion or listener discretion. If this ain't your thing, go back and listen to the last episode.
Yeah.
When we talk about some horror movies that are our favorites.
We can go back before that where we talk about
our family dynamics.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, you know, this stuff really did happen to us. You be the judge if you want to believe us or not, but that's 100% our truth.
Yeah.
So my experience, I was like mid-20s. I'm 30 now, so like, you know, 24, 25-ish, I want to say.
Oh, God, don't say that's mid-20s, please.
That is your mid-20s. Your late 20s is like 27 to 29. You're in your mid-20s.
Horrible. I'm in my mid-20s.
I think that's how it goes. But I don't know the, you know, the rules to all that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just feel old.
How do you think I feel? But I really don't. I don't feel old, even though I'm 30, but...
You look it.
Fuck off. No, sir. People always say, like, how old are you? I always hear, like, 22.
We've said it a couple times on here.
Oh.
Every time you say how old you are, you're like, no, I don't feel that old. I'm like, oh, you look it.
Any hoosers. So, yeah, I was like, you know, mid-20s, 24, 25, I want to say.
Uh-huh.
So, it was like around this time of year, October, because we were going out for our cousin. I don't know if I should say her name or just, like, her initial.
Use an initial.
Yeah, so our cousin M's birthday is October 2nd, so we were going around this time of year, literally. And, I want to say it was ladies' night, because I don't remember, like, having to pay for any of the drinks or nothing. There was, like, 5 of us, including me and M, so 3 of her friends.
Mm-hmm.
And around that time, like, we were really close to, like, guys we were friends with in high school, like, you know, still friends with people from high school and stuff. So I knew the boys were at an Avs game or something like that. They were downtown, but not at that point because they were at a game. And they're like, you know, when the game's over, we'll meet you at the bar or whatever, because we have a whole, like, our own kind of, like, Vegas type of thing downtown with, like, all the clubs are just on this one street. So, like, all right. So, like I say, we go into the club. I don't remember having to pay for any of our drinks. And, like, at that time in my life, I drank a lot, like, every weekend and stuff.
Yeah, you
now,
were young. That was the thing to do.
Yeah. So, we were used to, you know, going out and drinking with our friends or just going to parties. Like, we were more, like, going to little parties than to be downtown and stuff. But back then, you know, my alcohol tolerance was, not that it's bad now, but like when you drink consistently and stuff, like you got a better tolerance for it or a higher tolerance for it.
Yeah.
And so I was already a little bit buzzed, and I feel like I'm breathing so hard right now. The night, you know, it was good. Like, it was, like, right now, the weather outside, it's cold.
Yeah.
Like, you could literally feel, like, fall,
Dude,
early
yeah,
winter.
today I was like, what the fuck? Like,
rolling in.
yeah.
But when this happened, it was, like, unseasonably hot. Like, it felt like summer.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, you know, when you go to certain clubs, they have a dress code. So everyone was, like, still dressing like it was summertime. So I remember, like, yeah, not having to go with, like, a coat or nothing, like what you would think the perfect summer night is, but it's October. So the night's going on, you know, the vibes are good, and like I said, it's just all us girls, and one of them was a lesbian. So, like, me and her are, like, vibing on the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
And our cousin and her friends are, you know, dancing with each other and stuff, like, because we never been girls that, like, would dance with random dudes. Like,
yeah,
it was either the guys that we were friends with or, like, their friends, like, that they knew, like, oh,
yeah, it
we
was
could
just
trust.
like your group, and
Yeah.
not like a bunch of random dudes.
So they're just dancing, you know, just the girls and stuff. And then another reason why I know I was pretty buzzed, because I don't fucking dance unless I'm, like,
Yeah.
pretty lit, you know?
Yeah.
So it's dark in those clubs, like, they just have, like, the strobe lights and stuff. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a night that was, like, packed, because it was still so warm. The rooftop bar was open, so a lot of the people were, like, up there.
Mm-hmm.
So inside it wasn't crowded, so we're like, oh, let's just stay down here, like, the bar's right there. And we were, like, really close to the bar, so we're like, you know, we got a good spot, like, we'll just stay right here. So, like I said, I'm dancing with one of my cousin's girlfriends, and she's dancing with her other friends. And this dude, like, walks into the picture. And at first, you know, I'm not, like, really paying any attention, because, you know, people have seen, like, other guys, like, buying her, like, shots, like, buying our group shots, like, oh, it's your birthday, like, here,
Yeah.
it's on me and stuff. So I just kind of assumed, like, it was a dude that saw, like, oh, it's her birthday, like, I'm gonna buy her a shot or something. So, you know, I'm focused on the person that I'm dancing with and stuff, but I see, you know, a guy approach her and stuff. So then I look back, and I could, like, describe it, like, I don't know if a lot of people have seen, I think it's, like, the movie Blade, when he's, like, the bald dude.
Oh yeah.
So you know how he dresses,
that
like, those,
movie.
like leather looking black pants, and, like, it's not a freaking, like, trench coat, but it's, like, a long, like, goth type of jacket, and, like,
Yeah.
a big hood on his head. And, like, that's all I seen was, like, just someone that's dressed in all black. The hood is on the head, and at first, like, that's what, like, really caught my eye. I was like, why is this dude, like, dressed like that? Like, it's so fucking hot down here. Like,
Especially in the club,
yeah,
with your hoodie
especially
on,
in the club. Like, what the hell? So, like, that was the first thing that, like, caught me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, like, remember, like, M just, like, stopped dancing with the girls as soon as this guy, like, approached, and, like, she's talking to him and he's talking to her, but I can't see what his face looks like because his hood's, like, covering his face. And like I said, all that's giving off light is, like, strobe lights in a dark ass club. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, maybe this guy's gonna buy her a drink.
Go ahead, get it, girl.
Yeah. And so I'm not paying any, like, close attention, but then, like, turn my head again to, like, look, and then she's, like, dancing with him, like, full on, like, You know how you freaking...
Like grinding.
Yeah, grinding and stuff. And
yeah.
our cousin's not that kind of girl that, you know, dances like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's all over this dude, just grinding. And we're, like, looking at each other like, what the fuck? Like, M is not like that. Like, what? And, like, then he, like, lifts his head a little bit. But the only thing I could make out is, like, from his nose on down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, you know, clean-shaven dude and stuff. And he, you know, has his, like, grip on her. And then, like, I don't know, something just kept telling me, like, don't take your eye off her.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm still dancing and stuff, and we're talking. And then I see him, like, start to, like, talk in her ear. And something, like, that he said, like, caught me off guard, was like, well, it's time for us to go. And even, like, though, like, it was loud in that club, like, I don't know how I heard it, but I heard it, like, clear as day. Like, if me and you are talking right now, like,
yeah,
it's time for us to go now, let's go. So then, like, I stopped dancing with, you know, this girl, and I'm like, he's gonna try to take her. And they, like, looked at me, like, record
like,
scratch, like,
what the fuck? Yeah.
And they're like, what? And I'm like, he just told her, like, it's time for us to go. We're gonna leave. And they're like, oh, fuck no. Like, so he, like, starts backing up, like, with her in his embrace pretty much, and starts backing up. And we're like, yo, what are you doing? He's like, it's time for us to go. And I'm like, you're not going anywhere with her. Oh, I am. It's time for us to go. And I'm like, no, you're not taking her any fucking where. Like,
yeah.
So something just, like, it was like a fucking sponge just, like, came over my body and, like, took all of that alcohol from my body and, like, sucked it out, because I was feeling good. I was, you know, happy, in a good place, you know, being buzzed and stuff. But as soon as I heard him say, like, it's time for us to go, we need to leave, I, like, went into, like, fight or flight mode. Like, no, you're not taking her anywhere. And, like, yes, I am. Like, no, you're not. You're not fucking taking her anywhere. I don't like confrontation, but, you know, I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I fight for what I love. Yeah. And, so I got aggressive with this dude. I'm like, you're not fucking going anywhere with her, bro. Like, I don't know what you think you're doing, but you're not leaving with her. I don't know if you're trying to think that you're gonna get lucky tonight or whatever, but it's not happening. And then it was just like this, like, monotone, like, it's time for us to leave. We're gonna go now.
What the fuck?
So, like, me and the girl that I'm dancing with, like, because he's now, like, trying to, like, drag her out of this club. So we're right by the bar, and me and her just, like, fucking, like, football, like, tackled this dude into the bar. Like, he falls through the bar.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, let's get her, let's fucking go, let's go. So we drag her ass out of the bar, and I'm like, you know, by the grace of God or whatever, like, our guy friends were outside across the street at this other bar, and they're standing outside smoking. And they see us, and they're like, well, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, this dude is trying to take M. He's telling her, like, it's time for us to leave. We need to go now. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And they're like, oh, fuck no. Like, where is he? And it just so happened he starts walking out of the club after us. And
what the hell?
Just, like, you know, walking with the purpose. And we're like, that's him, that's him. So, like, 5 of them jump on him. They're like, no, what are you doing? Like, you ain't taking her nowhere.
Yeah.
And he just, like, you know, tell him the same thing, like, it's time for us to go now. And they're like, no, you ain't leaving with no one. You're gonna go leave by yourself. And we're trying to take M to the freaking car, but she's, like, fighting us, not wanting to leave this dude. And so, like, our guy friends are, like, trying to help, like, drag her, because she's fighting with everything in her to, like, not leave this guy. And he's fighting with our guy friends, and he takes a swing at one of my friends, and they swing back at him, and they catch him in the jaw, and it knocks the hood off. And it just reminded me, I don't know if people are religious or they've happen to see the movie, but Passion of the Christ, there's a part in it where Jesus is walking down the streets of Jerusalem with his cross on his shoulder, and he trips and he falls, and like they pan the camera to like the crowd that's like yelling at him and stuff, and like the people kind of like disperse, and you see like the devil with holding like a freaking demon in his arms, and like it's just like
the little demon baby.
Yeah, like
just, I kind of want to watch that movie again, like just to, because I haven't seen it since I was young.
Yeah, but like the look that Satan is like giving Jesus, like that's the only way that I could
and just like
explain like how this guy's face looked. Like his skin wasn't like ours, like not brown, not white, like it was gray, like sickly, and he's bald, no facial hair, just like evil fucking eyes, bro, like evil, like that's the only way I could describe it, is just like evil, like angry, and and he's just like giving me this look like that he wants to like fucking rip my head off because I'm trying to take our cousin away.
Yeah.
And as I look at him, he's like fighting like now like crazy, and I'm like, where the fuck are the bouncers? Like no one else is seeing this going on.
Security,
like
anybody?
Yeah. And I was thinking that too, like, you know, where the fuck is the help? Like, you know, the
police?
security didn't see them, like us push this guy through the bar, like the bartender didn't call no one, like where the fuck is the help?
Yeah.
Because something like kept telling me if he takes her and she rounds the corner, like you're never gonna see her again. I'm gonna start fucking crying because that night it fucked me up so bad.
Yeah.
And that's what just kept playing in my head, was like, if he takes her, because he's fighting these guys like they're nothing, like he was stronger than them and stuff.
And they were bigger than him, huh?
Yeah. And I'm like, how is this little dude, like we're probably the same size, like he's probably like maybe an inch taller than me, like fighting these guys off, and something just kept telling me if he grabs her and they round that corner, like you're never gonna find her. Don't let her go. So I remember like telling him, Em, stop, what are you doing, bro? Like stop. No, I need to leave with him. And like, we're not leaving. You're not leaving with him. Like, I'm taking you home. As soon as I mentioned home, I thought she was fighting at that point. She really started to fucking fight after I said, I'm taking you home.
Yeah.
But, as soon as I mentioned home, like, she really started fighting. And like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm going with him. And like, no, like, what is wrong with you? Like, you were fine 20 minutes ago, bro. Like, what is wrong?
Yeah.
Like, no, I need to leave with him. And we're like, you're not leaving with him. So we finally pull her like the 3 blocks down the street into a parking lot where we were parked. And they had a parking attendant, and they saw us, you know, all trying to get her in the car. And they like approached us like, hey, what's going on? We're like, you know, this guy was in the club, and he starts, you know, dancing with her, like trying to like give him the long story short. And we're like, you know, he's trying to follow us. Like, our friends we could still hear our friends like fighting. Like, you're not fucking getting near her. Like, stop. Like, what's wrong with you? And we're like, you know, and this guy's, you know, trying to take her and stuff. Like, we're just trying to get her home. I'm like, I'm her cousin. Like, we're out for her birthday. And he's like, oh, all right, you know, make it home safe or whatever. So even through like that chaos, like I had a clear mind to tell myself, put the child locks on the back doors. So her friend Kay is driving, and I'm in the passenger seat, and M's in the back seat, and she's just like fucking thrashing like a caged animal, like back and forth. And no, I need to go with him. I need to stay with him. And we're like, no, I'm taking you home. And as soon as I hit the word home, like she was mad, and she like dove for the front seat. You know, Kay was already on the road. I'm like, bro, do it as safe as you can, but get us back home as fast as you can. Like,
Yeah.
we're downtown. She lives in the burbs. Like, we need to hurry up and make it to her house, like, as fast as you can, but as safe as you can. So, we're driving through downtown, and M's trying to get to the front seat. She's pulling on Kay's arm, and we, like, swerve, and I'm like, fucking stop. Like, you're gonna get us into, a fucking car accident. Stop.
Yeah.
And our cousin has a very distinctive fucking laugh. Like, you hear her laugh and you're like, oh, that's M.
Yeah.
It's like super high pitched. We're always like, oh, you have an annoying laugh. But, it's her. But as soon as I was like, we're going to take you home, like, stop. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're going to get us into a car accident. And when I mentioned the car accident, like, she let out this laugh that wasn't her. Like, it wasn't this high pitched, annoying laugh. It was like low and like deep, and I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Did he give you like a drug?
That gave me chills.
Did like he give you a freaking like a pill or something? And I was like, we need to get you home. Like, what is wrong with you? So then I mentioned home again, and she like lunges for me. I get scratched on the arm because, I put my arm up between like my seat and the driver's seat to like stop her from going.
Trying to get over and
yeah, to get into like, the front. So I have my arm up, and she like slashes at my arm, and she scratches my face. And I'm like, fucking stop. Like, what is wrong with you? I just remember like repeating that over and over again. Like, fucking stop. What's wrong with you?
yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like, what happened? Did he do something to you? Did he say something to you? Like, what's wrong? And she wouldn't answer. And I was like, just stop. We're getting you out of here. Like, just stop, because you're not gonna go with him. Because she kept saying, like, I need to go with him. I need to go with him.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, you're not going with him. Like, you knew him for like 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
Like, it happened so quick. And she like wouldn't stop, and then we finally reached the highway, and I'm like, dude, get us to the burbs, like, fast. So she's driving, and we get kind of like by the exit like of our mom's house where we were living at the time, and then all of a sudden like she lunges again for the front seat, but this time she's like punching me in the face. Like, I've been punched in the face like one time prior by a male. And the way that she punched me, it was like the power of like two of that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, watch when we get you home. And we've said it before, we're no Sabo kids. Like, we don't speak Spanish fluently. Like, we can understand
we can understand. And we could also speak bits and pieces, but...
yeah, but not fluently.
Yeah.
Especially on Dad's side. Like, no one on his family knows how to speak Spanish.
Yeah. No, they can't even roll their R's.
Yeah. And this is, our cousin on our dad's side. So, she doesn't know how to speak Spanish. But I'm like, watch when we get home. Like, and let's see how you act in front of your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I shit you not. She started speaking fluent Spanish. Like, just, not in her tone. Like, the fucking car got cold when she's speaking, and she's speaking in fluent Spanish, and me and Kay are looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on? Like, she doesn't speak Spanish like that. And
yeah,
like, I don't know, like, maybe we'll talk about it if we decide to do this episode of like possessions and stuff. Like, when you're talking about stuff like that, like, it always, I think, refers to like Spanish, because
Latin or Spanish.
Like, the Vatican is like in Spain, isn't it?
Yeah.
But like, when she started speaking Spanish, like, that's what I like. Only like that was my thought, was like,
that's when it finally clicked in your
yeah,
head.
like, this explains it, because I remember, like, scary movies, it always refers to like Spanish because, like, the Vatican's in Spain or whatever. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But that's the first thought in my head.
From what I know is, like, demons, I want to say, like, it's something about the Latin language. I'm going to have to look into that. Because I've noticed that, too, in a lot of, like, exorcism cases or possessions and stuff like that. Like, these people are speaking either, like, Spanish or Latin. And so, like, yeah. I'm going to look into that for sure, because there's a connection somewhere in between there.
But that's the first thing that popped into my head. And then I think, like, realization hit me and Kay both, like, when she started speaking, like, fluent Spanish and, like, not in a tone that was hers. And like I said, the car literally got so cold. And like I said, it was, like, a summer night in October. And we, like, looked at each other and we're like, what the fuck? Like, what? We didn't even have words. Like, I just remember us saying, like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So we finally make it, like, towards her house. And as soon as, like, we turn the corner to get to her house, she starts going crazy. And I'm like, is it because, you know, something is in her nose? Like, we're almost to her house. Like, her family is going to be coming out.
Dude, I keep getting these goosebumps.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Like, this whole chill down my butt.
And so we're like, how are we even going to get her in the house? Like, I don't know why, but, like, stupid me was like, I can't bring my drunk cousin back to, like, her house, like, or her parents to see that, pretty much.
Like, oh, she's gonna get in
like
trouble.
I'm still, even though I'm still, like, worried about her, like, my brain kind of went to, like, I need to protect her because our parents don't ever see us drunk. They don't see us smoke, none of that.
Well,
so,
that side
yeah,
of the family. And she's from that side of the family.
Yeah. Like, we don't do that type of thing, or our parents don't know that we do those things.
Yeah.
So, like, I went into protecting her that way. And I'm like, I don't know how we're going to freaking sneak her in. Like, we parked the car, and it just so happened that her older brother, Rai, is walking out of the house to go to work. And I'm like, he's like, hey, like, you guys are back kind of early. What happened? I'm like, Rai, like, she met this guy and they were dancing, and, like, he kept saying, like, it's time for us to go, like, we need to go and I need to take her and all this shit, and she's fighting us. Like, she scratched me, like, I showed him, like, she scratched me on my arm, she scratched me on my face, she punched me. Like, I don't know what's wrong with her. Like, she's literally speaking Spanish in the back seat, and she's, like, pounding on her fucking, you know, window from the back. And he's like, oh, shit, like, I can't be late to work. And I looked, and I'm like, oh, I see the light in her oldest brother's room in the basement is on. So he, like, you know, runs to the window down there, and he's like, hey, come up here. And then, like, he didn't hear him, and then he's like, hey, are you up? Hey. And then he finally did, and he's like, what? He's like, come up here, like, come get M, because I gotta go to work. Like, I don't know, something's wrong with her. So he, like, you know, flies up the stairs, and I tell him, like, what happened and stuff, and I'm like, look at her. Like, he's like, what the hell? What's going on with her? I'm like, I don't know. Like, she's speaking fluent Spanish. She's hitting people. She needs to go with this guy. And he's like, what? Like, did someone slip anything to her? I'm like, no. Like, my eyes were on her, like, pretty much all night long. Like, I literally turned my head twice, and, like, she's acting like this. Like, she was going to leave with this guy. And he's like, what the heck? So he's like, let's just get her out of the car. So, like, we open the car, and as soon as the car door opens, like, she freaking sprints out of it, and she's trying to run, and A grabs her, and he's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, dude, stop. Like, let's just go in the house, go to sleep. Like, don't be loud, don't wake up mom and dad. And, like, she's speaking Spanish, and, like, A looks at me, like, his eyes are big too, like, what is my sister doing?
Oh my god.
And I'm like, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know who this guy was. Like, I'm like, he was just evil. Like, that's the only thing I felt. That's the only thing I saw was just fucking evil.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't have my parents see her like this. Like, and I'm like, I know, dude. Like, I don't know what to do. So she started fighting him. Like, A is a big boy.
Yeah.
He's tall and he's, he got some meat on him. He's a big boy, and she's rolling on the ground with him, like, not wanting to let him take her inside because he's like, let's go inside. You're going to freaking wake up the neighbors. Like, stop. What are you doing?
Yeah.
She's screaming, like, I say, but it's not like a scream that she would scream. Like, it's something that's not her. And so I don't know if she finally screamed loud enough that auntie and uncle come down, and her parents used to be pastors.
Yeah.
Oh, your fucking arm scared the shit out of me. Ugh.
My arm?
Yeah, when you put your arm down, I just saw, like... But her parents finally come out, and her parents used to be pastors. They used to have a church of their own. Like, our family has a family church now, but they had one of their own. Our uncle was an ordained pastor at a time. They're, very into their Christian faith, just like the rest of our dad's side of the family or his siblings. And so, like, when they came outside, it was like World War III.
Yeah.
And my auntie's like, she's the sweetest woman you'll ever meet. Like, I've never met a person like auntie, like, to welcome you in her house and, like, oh, you want coffee? Like, she's
the definition of, like, just a wholehearted woman, like.
Yeah, like, literally a heart of gold.
Yeah.
So to, like, see her, like, look at me with the eyes that she did, like, I just started crying, and I was like, auntie, I don't know what happened. Like, I'm gonna start crying again. But I'm like, I don't know what happened. Like, this guy was, dancing with her, and, like, something in my gut auntie told me, like, if I let her go, like, something just kept telling me, like, you're never gonna see her, you're never gonna find her. And she starts, getting teary-eyed too, and she's like, what is, like, but she has a nickname for her, but she's like, Emma, like, whatever. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? And, like, she starts speaking Spanish to auntie, and she's like, starts just, like, instantly, like, praying.
Yeah.
And when she starts praying, like, you could believe whatever you want to believe with your religion, but, like, I look at auntie, and, like, when auntie starts praying, like, God's listening to her.
Oh yeah.
Like, she would
just feel it whenever she prayed.
Yeah, like, it always hits you in the heart.
Yeah.
When she starts praying, she's like, whatever this is, like, you need to leave, like, you're not welcome here. And she's, like, laughing at my auntie. My uncle's, putting his hands on her, like, not aggressively or whatever, but he's trying to, like, stop her because she's still fighting her brother on the ground. And he's, telling her, like, stop, what are you doing? Like, what is wrong? And, my auntie just lays eyes on her and sees, like, this isn't my daughter. Like, she's praying, and my uncle hears her praying, and so he starts praying, and he's laughing, like, I say he, but whatever was in my cousin, like, was laughing at them for doing it, like, and I was just like, auntie, I don't know what happened, like, I don't know what happened, like, if I would have let her go, like, we would have never seen her again, like, I'm so sorry, like, I don't know what's going on. She's speaking Spanish, she's being violent. I'm like, look at her, and she's like, tells Kay, like, take Brooke home. Take her home, and you go home, get out of here, like, we'll handle it. And I'm like, auntie, are you sure? Like, we could try to get her, to get you, like, to get her inside. And she's like, no, like, they'll get her. And she's like, just let me know when you get home, like, thank you. Like, I'll talk to you tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, I just remember, like, that whole ride home, we were, like, in shock, like, did that fucking just happen to us? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, we were having a good time, and, like, in the freaking blink of an eye, snap of a finger, like, it changed. And she's like, I don't know, bro, like, I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen her act like that. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So when I finally got home and I was like, text my auntie, I'm home. I'm like, let me know when you get there. And she's like, all right. I couldn't sleep all night because that just kept replaying in my mind. And like every time I closed my eyes, like I just saw that happening again. So I didn't even sleep at all that night.
Yeah.
And then it was finally like early enough or late enough where I felt like I could call my dad. And I was like, Dad, like something happened with Em last night. And he's like, what? And I was like, she's like fine, she's at home, but like I don't know what happened to her. And my dad's like, oh well, I'll call auntie and see what's going on and stuff, because like still, like, you think about that all the time. Like, I've never been downtown since that night. Especially, to go to a bar or whatever. Like, never once would I step into a bar down there again.
Yeah.
But like, even if we're, driving downtown and we're driving down that street or past that street, to get back to our side of town, like, I just always feel like a chill, like, run through my bones, like, because I know, like, my life was fucking changed on that night. Like,
yeah.
We didn't talk to my cousin that whole weekend, and then, maybe like a week later, my auntie called and was like, come down to the house, like, let's talk. And like, my cousin, I see her for the first time and she's like, dude, I'm so sorry, like, I don't know what happened, like, I still can't wrap my head around it. She's like, you know me, like, I would never do anything to, like, ever intentionally hurt you, like, I don't, that, like, wasn't me, like, thank you for, fighting to get me home, pretty much, like.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm done, like, I'm not going back down there, I'm not going to the clubs no more, like. And she, like, turned her whole life to, like, Christ. And now
that was her testimony.
Yeah, it was her testimony, like, her, like, wake up call to be like, yeah, I'm not living like this no more, or whatever. Yeah. And yeah, she, like, hasn't drank since then. She, doesn't party like that. She works for a pretty big church in another state now. Like, she's fully immersed into, her Christianity and her faith because of that night. And I remember sitting down with Auntie, and she's like, we're not an emotional family on Dad's side, but, like, that's probably, like, the first time I could recall, like, seeing her cry. And she's like, thank you for fighting to bring my daughter home, because, like, the Lord told me too, like, if Brooke was, like, a lot of friends and they saw, like, their girlfriends, like, gonna hook up with the guy, like, oh, girl, go do you. Go get that, whatever. She's like, if, something told me, like, if Brooke was one of those girls, like, I wouldn't have my daughter here. We wouldn't know where she would have ended up, if she would have been dead.
What happened to her?
Yeah, like, there's a million things that could have happened to her. Like, thank you for bringing her home. And I'm like, that's my cousin, like, my sister. Like, with the cousins that, we're closest to, like, I don't look at them as my cousins. They're, like, my siblings.
Yeah.
So I look at her like my older sister. I'm like, I couldn't just let her leave, even though, this person was trying to take her. And I'm like, and something told me, like, that too, like, if she, crosses that corner, she's not going to be found. Like, you're never going to see her again. And she's like, yeah, like, God or whatever told me, like, the same thing, like, thank God that, Brooke fought for her, because he would have taken her.
Yeah.
And it was, like, kind of, like, confirmed to them, like, she was possessed by something. Like, when they were praying for her, like, laughing, like, there is no God.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, laughing and kept telling him that, like, there is no God. And so they had to bring, like, our other uncle that's our family's pastor. He's the pastor of our church now and stuff. And they had to bring him in to, like, pray over her too and, like, cleanse their house and all this stuff. And, like, yeah, that night fucked with me for, like, so long. Like, it was so hard to, like, go to sleep and to, like, kind of go on with life at that point. Like, yeah, she was safe and stuff, but, like, that could have went so different if I was someone that was like, oh, bitch, go get that dick or whatever. Like, go ahead. I'm trying to get it in with this person. Like, so go do you. Like, and it's sad because there are friends that are like that with their friends. Like, oh, bro, go with her. Go hook up with her and stuff. And it's like, you never know what someone's intentions are.
You just gotta go with your gut. Your gut told you something.
And it was like feelings
not even necessarily your gut, but something in your spirit said, hey, you know what? This ain't right. Like, you need to stop this. And I feel like that's in a lot of people. Like, you need to just, they say trust your gut, but it's more than just trusting your gut. I think
there's something deeper to that.
Yeah. Like, you need to trust that instinct that you have in your, whatever you're feeling. Like, you need to trust that and go with it. Like, it's there for a reason. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. That shit's crazy.
And I think about it, all the time because, like I say, her birthday's on October 2nd. So, like, anytime I think of her birthday, like, I always think of
that night.
Like, that's always going to be, like, burned into my memory. Like, I could have lost my cousin that night.
Yeah. That whole story is wild.
And it's hard. I'm sure there's people like, oh, she's fucking lying. Like, no, bro. Like, on my grandmother's grave, bro, like, that happened to me.
Yeah.
And that fucked me up deeply. Like, even now, thinking about it, like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Yeah. And, like, I've never come into contact with anyone or anything that just gave off that fucking just evilness and that anger. And, like, I've never felt anything like that in my life. And I've never felt, like, such an urgency to, like, be protective over someone. Like, I protect my family, and everything that I do, I'm ready to protect them and stuff, but I've never felt that in my life since then. Yeah. Up until then, after then, like, nothing. Like, I've never felt that before. Yeah. But it was my experience, and like I say, even though it happened a while ago, like, that shit sticks with you, and I don't think that will ever go away, because, like I say, I think about it all the time when her birthday comes around, like, the what ifs. Like, what if I would have took my eyes off of her again for, like, a second more, like, what could have happened? Or if our guy friends weren't out there when they were, like, they would have never been able, like, we wouldn't have been able to fight this dude off of her. And it's scary.
I feel like this scary ass thing happened to you, but there was also, like, somebody watching over you. Like, hey, you know what? Like, what a coincidence. You didn't even know your friends were out.
Yeah, like
the same day, the same time as you guys, and they were at the bar right across the street, and they were out there as soon as you guys came out. Like,
yeah, because there's so many bars that they could have been at that we liked down there, and I just kept thinking, like, what if they weren't there? Like,
if they weren't there, if you were more drunk and weren't comprehending, or if you weren't even watching her.
Like, if I never freaking, like, got that, like, whatever it was to, like, suck that fucking alcohol out of my system, like, when it did, like, there's no way that I would have been able to fend off this dude. Like, I'm a tough bitch. Like, I'm not just gonna go down easily. I'm gonna get up and fight, but, like, I definitely know, like, the way that he was handling five guys on him. Like, there's no way that I would have been able to fight him off by myself.
Yeah. That's just wild.
But yeah, the Lord, my grandparents, someone was looking out for me that night to make sure that I got us both back home. Like I say, I've never been back down there. I have zero desire. Like, sometimes you've asked me to go down there, or other cousins, like, come on, let's go downtown. I'm like, nope. I will not fuck with that.
And even me now, I'm like, I'm good. Like, 'cause there's nothing down there I want. Like,
yeah, like, even when you go to the club, you go anywhere, you have to have that freaking, like, my head has to be on a swivel all the time. Like, bro, I don't want to do that. I want to just be able to
That's why I'd rather just sit at home, smoke some weed.
Yeah, I could drink all I want. I could smoke all I want, and I don't have to worry about anyone trying to fucking stab me, shoot me, jump me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm good on all that.
So fuck downtown. I will never go down there again. Like I say, even when I go down there to, like, go to the fucking tamale place and I have to drive back down there to get to the other side of downtown, back to the Nutty, like, I pass that street and I always just get, like, this chill and, like, this, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, go to
you
my
know what's
body.
crazy, though? Like, like, those, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but, like, those stories that they say where, like, the devil disguises himself as, like, this handsome man. And,
yes.
And, like, he walks into the club and all these girls are just swooning over him, like, blah, blah, blah. Like this trance and, like,
yeah.
It's just weird that it lines up that, like, as soon as he walked in, like, she was just swooning over him and, had her locked in as soon as he walked in the room.
To be,
and,
like, dancing the way that they were. And
yeah.
to, like, not act like herself, like, right off the jump. Like, I came face to face with the demon, and I fucking believe that wholeheartedly. Like, I looked a demon in the fucking eyes and interacted with one, and, like, that could have very well killed my cousin that night.
Yeah. So my story takes place about 2018 or 2019. I think it was the summer 2018. This was back when I was with my ex-girlfriend, and we had gone, I guess you could call it camping, but it was like on her dad's in-laws' property. And so we had our tent set up. This is in what part of town? The San Luis Valley in Colorado, which is known for, like, a lot of paranormal and, like, UFOs and witchcraft, like
a small town.
Like small town, like, crazy shit. Actually, this isn't the oldest town in Colorado. I could say it's San Luis, Colorado. I said the San Luis Valley, but there's, like, a smaller, like, little, I don't know if it's another town or what, but it's called Chama. But that's where the property was, so we were staying there, and we were camping out, and, like, we're all hanging out and partying, not partying, but, like, hang around the campfire, whatever, and then the adults start going to sleep, and then I had brought this big tent that Mom has.
It's like a 10-person tent?
Yeah. And so on one side it was, like, my ex and her stepsisters were on one side, and then I was on the mattress all by myself on the other side. It's like, obviously, we're teenagers, like,
can't be sleeping
not allowed
together.
to sleep in the same bed, you know? So I was on the other bed, and the girls were asleep. I was asleep. And I don't know how long I was asleep for. It must have been a while. And, like, I'm not an easy person to wake up, like, at all.
Oh, no. Once he's asleep, like, good fucking luck.
Yeah, I'm gone. Like, I feel sorry for my lady now, because when the kids cry, I don't hear it. Which is a bad thing, dude. Anybody could break into my house and I wouldn't even know it.
I know. You think it would have changed once you had kids, like...
Yeah, no. And I try, dude. I try. Some days it works, some days, nah. Most days, no.
And you fall asleep fucking fast, too. Like, you could literally be talking to him 1 second, and the next second he's snoring. You're like, it's literally been, like, not even 30 seconds, bro.
Yeah. But anyway, like, I was in a deep sleep, and then, like, all of a sudden, I just feel like somebody touching on my leg, like, hey, wake up, wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my ex, and I'm like, what? She's like, I'm scared. And I'm like, scared of what? Like, the hell are you scared of?
Yeah.
And she's like, I keep hearing somebody walking around the tent. Like, somebody's walking around the tent. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I haven't heard anything.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, will you just listen? Like, I'm scared. Like, I'm like, okay. So then, like, she gets next to me on the air mattress, and we're laying there. And then all I could hear is fucking footsteps, like around the tent. Like, it goes from our side, around the back side of the tent, to the other side where the girls were sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd stop, and then it'd come back around to our side. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, I thought, like, I was like, okay, like, she has wild ass dreams. Maybe it was a dream she was having.
Mm.
But then when I'm hearing it, I'm like, holy shit. Like, then, I don't know, I just felt like this fear come over my body. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's
not human.
Yeah.
Or, like, why would, like, one of her family members be walking around outside
Yeah.
knowing that everyone's sleeping in the tent?
Yeah, it was just weird. So then we had cell service. Like, we weren't in the middle of nowhere. Like, the in-laws, or her dad's in-laws' house was a couple 100 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where he was, her dad.
Sleeping in the house?
Yeah, he was in the house. Like, it was just us kids that stood out in the tent.
Mm.
But, she had, like, texted him or something, or called him, like, hey, you need to come outside. Like, somebody's walking around the tent. Is it you? And he's like, no, everybody's asleep. Like, you could hear it in his voice. Like, he's, like, half dead.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, can you come out here and check? Like, dude, I didn't have shit. Like,
yeah.
I would have went out, but fuck no, I ain't going out there empty-handed, not knowing where the fuck I am or what the fuck I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a teenager.
like, yeah, I didn't have a flashlight or nothing. Like, we thought we were cool. Like, hey, we're on their property, we're fine, you know?
Yeah. If I gotta go pee, I could run inside really quick.
Yeah. But, you know, like, maybe a minute or so later, like, we hear him, we see the flashlight, like, shining around, and then we hear her dad walking up, and he's looking around, and, like, you don't see nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So then he comes in, and he has his gun. And he's like, are you guys alright? Like, I don't see anything out here. And, like, she's crying, like, you know, I heard something, like, I couldn't sleep. It kept walking around. But finally, I woke Anthony up, and he heard it, like, and we're both, like, shitted, and the other girls were asleep still.
Mm.
And so he's like, alright, well, why don't you guys just go inside? We'll figure out sleeping arrangements in there. So, like, the girls all slept in the living room. And then his in-laws are, I want to call them weird because I think this is weird, but they're a married couple, but they sleep in separate rooms and separate beds. So I'm like,
they like their space.
Yeah, so, like, oh, go sleep in, we'll just call him Grandpa. Go sleep in the Grandpa's room on his bed. And I'm like, okay.
Snuggle next to Gramps.
Oh, no, I didn't sleep with him. But I'm like, oh, okay, like, whatever. So it took me a while because this is, like, the most uncomfortable bed I've ever slept in. It was like, every single move was like, fucking squeaky
You're like,
as
damn,
shit.
this shit is firm.
Like, goddamn, put some WD-40 on this shit. But anyway, to keep it 100, I end up falling asleep. And then the next day, like, we're out, you know, like, families, like, nothing happened, you know?
Mm.
Like, I honestly forgot about it. And then, you know, we're going throughout our day. We go out here to this place and this place and this place, whatever. And then, like, we're somewhere and the girls are out doing their thing or whatever. And I'm sitting there with him. And he's like, can I ask you something? And I go, yeah, what's up? He's like, this thing that you guys, like, whatever you guys heard last night, like, did you see it at all? And I'm like, no, I didn't see anything. Like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was too scared to fucking zip down the little window zippers on the
fuck that.
tent. Like, if there's something out there, I don't want to see it, you know? Like,
yeah.
But I was just like, you know what? We didn't see anything. Like, I didn't even think to look out. Like, we're just scared, you know? And he's like, did it, like, walk around the whole tent? Like, he was, like, asking me all these questions and, like, details. And I was telling him, and then, like, you kind of, like, he's a darker dude. But, like, I don't know, just, like, in his face, like, you could see, like, he was, like, kind of scared himself.
Mm.
And, like, kind of, like, pale in the face. And I'm just looking at him, I'm like, what? And he's like, I don't want to freak you out or anything, and I don't want you to tell blank, but, you know, the same thing happened to me in the same town when I was about your age. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And then, so he's telling me about this story about when him and his friends were, you know, out on somebody else's property. You know, they were having a bonfire or something like that. Young kids partying, you know.
Small town, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, so they're, you know, just chilling, hanging out, camping out or whatever, drinking, having fun. And they all go to bed in their tent, and they have the campfire out. You know, like, their tent's kind of by the campfire.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, the campfire was out, but all you could see is, like, the red. Yeah, what did you say?
The embers?
Yeah, the embers. He's like, you could see that, so that was the only thing kind of giving off, like, light.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, we kept hearing something, like, walking around the tent, but whatever it wasn't going in front of the tent. Because, like, the front side is where the light from the embers were.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it was going all around, and you could kind of see, like, a shadow, but you couldn't see, like, what it was. And then he's like, you know, whatever it was, like, it seemed afraid of, like, being seen, like, from the light.
Yeah, like, I'm not walking in front of where...
Yeah, but he's like, the only difference is, like, we kept hearing it walking around, and we wanted to see what it was. And so one of the friends, like, looks out, and they said, like, it seemed like a man walking around, and then, like, the shadow of a man or whatever, and then, like, it ran off, and then got on all fours, like, kind of, like, shape, yeah, like, I got chills thinking about it, but, like, it kind of, like, shape-shifted into, like, a dog or something, like, got on all fours and started running off, like, out into the darkness, like, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? Because, like, that's kind of what I was, like, imagining.
Scared of
like,
seeing.
Yeah, like, you know? And it's crazy because, like, how I said, like, witchcraft and stuff like that is a big thing down there.
Like
or
I
it
said,
used
'cause
to be,
it's
at least.
a freaking small town. There's nothing to do.
Yeah. But they say, like, with Native American witchcraft, they could turn into...
Like skinwalkers.
Yeah, like skinwalkers. Like, you know, they look like men, but then they transform into animals. And
wolves and bears. And
that's not the only time he said, like, talked about the skinwalker out there, like, I don't know. It's
sure
just something about them.
that town is like
that
close
valley.
to like reservations and stuff like that.
But it was just crazy. Like, he's like, I was the same age and the same thing happened. Like, he's like, I don't think that's a coincidence.
And yeah, if it wasn't walking in front where the light was shining.
Yeah. And I don't know if my ex knows about that story because he didn't want to freak her out. He's like, I'm going to tell you something, but I don't want you to tell her. Like, I'm like, okay.
Because, yeah, if she ever heard that, then she'd be like, oh, I'm not fucking.
And he's not the type of person to, like,
lie about something like that.
Yeah. Like, even to, like, fuck around with me. Like, me and him were cool. Like, in a way, I seen him as, like, another dad,
Yeah.
And, like, just the vibe he was given, like, I totally believed every single word he said. Like, even the look on his face, and he kind of lost color in his skin. Like, I was just like, damn. Ooh. There's, like, obviously something out there.
Oh, yeah. Just like anywhere.
So, yeah, that was my little experience.
It does freak me out. I mean, you've had a couple experiences out there before. Because I remember getting a text from like, this fucking thing just happened to me here, and
yeah, I'm never coming back.
Like, yeah, you better put some holy oil on your freaking head before you come back home.
Yeah, no, that place is something else. Especially when you stay out, like, they have, is that what they call it? A reserve or something? Reservation?
Yeah, the res.
Not the res. I don't fucking know what it's called. Like a piece of land that you can go
land?
camp at. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it is called the reservation. I think I'm being stupid.
Well, that's where.
But we camped out there, and there's been, like, we heard some shit.
Yeah. That's why I don't fuck with going camping. Because for one, it's cold.
I want to go back. I want to go back and do a full-blown ghost hunt.
You could go by yourself.
Okay. Fine. And I'll never return.
Yeah, no. We ain't fucking with that. But, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. This is part 1 of a 2-part series. We'll be back next week with part 2 because we're gonna have Anthony's girlfriend Alexis back on, and she's gonna tell us some experiences that she's fucking.
No, that girl's dealt with some shit too, dude.
I've heard. I mean, a couple, but not like full length. What happened?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her to go into full detail on everything that happened, cause it's pretty, like, scary on the level of your story. My story was like, yeah.
That was just a little appetizer before the main course.
Yeah.
It was still scary. I'm like,
No, yeah, it was a scary thing, but your story was a lot scarier.
Yes.
I also have a couple other things too, but I feel like this is all we got time for in this episode.
We'll make sure that you talk about it in the
next one. Talk about it in part 2.
Because I have another experience. It was small, but it's an experience.
Yeah.
And then maybe about what happened to our uncle and our dad.
Yeah.
But it all just depends on how long Lex goes for.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear.
Yeah. So, that's gonna do it for this episode. Like I said, this is part 1 of a 2-part series. We'll be back with part 2 next Friday. So make sure that you got your notifications turned on for that next episode. We'll plug in the socials. Follow us on Instagram @Graham's Porch. In our bio, there's our link tree with everywhere that you could listen to this podcast. And if you could, follow us on each of them. Every listen helps, every share helps, every vote, comment, whatever you want to say, it helps. If you have an email that you want to send us, you can send it to us at gramsporchpod@gmail.com, and we'll get back with you with that, or talk about it on an episode in the future.
Yeah.
But that's gonna do it for this week. We hope you have a good week. Stay safe out there, because the streets are getting crazy.
Oh, also, happy Friday the 13th.
Yes. Happy Friday the 13th.
I totally forgot to mention that because we're recording a week early, but...
Yeah, and it's very, very...
The day this comes out is Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Happy Friday the 13th. Stay safe out there.
The Friday the 13th. Hey, happy Friday the 13th.
Stay safe out there, guys. Until then,
Sleep with the angels.